Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make one of my favorite cakes, Raffaello. Tender and light coconut sponge cake with sweet, rich and delicate coconut filling will certainly become the hit of any festive table. To make the cake we'll need flour, cornstarch and baking powder that are already sifted together, eggs at room temperature, sugar, shredded unsweetened coconut and a pinch of salt. Start by separating the eggs into the egg whites and yolks. You'll need to do it very carefully so no drops of water, fat or yolk gets into the egg whites. Even if just a drop of yolk gets into the whites will be impossible to beat. I like to use my hands for a clean and fast separation, but you can use any method that's convenient for you. Next, we'll need to beat the egg whites with a pinch of salt. Make sure the mixing bowl and the whisk attachment are squeaky clean and have no residual oil or fat left behind to disturb or deflate the egg whites. Start to beat the whites slowly until they're foamy, then increase the speed and add half of the sugar. Beat the egg whites until stiff peaks. When you're done, they should look smooth, shiny, and the tips can stand straight up. Add the second half of the sugar to the egg yolks and beat until light color and increasing in volume. Now we need to combine it all together. Add the shredded coconut to the egg yolks mixture and mix using a spatula. Next, add the beaten egg whites and the dry ingredients in 3 batches, alternating between them. Whenever you mix the butter with a spatula, you need to make movements from the bottom to the top. Do it very gently so the butter doesn't lose volume. As soon as the cake batter becomes smooth, stop the mixing. Now let's prepare the baking ring. With a piece of aluminum foil, cover one side of the ring. I'm using a 7-inch baking ring, and at the end I will cut my cake into 3 thin cake layers. If you want thicker cake layers, use a 6-inch baking ring. If you don't have baking ring, you can butter and flour a 7-inch baking pan. Transfer the butter into the baking ring, spread it with a spatula, and bake at 340 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick comes out dry. Let the cake cool in the baking ring for about 5 minutes or so, then free the ring from the aluminum foil and with a sharp knife slice between the cake and the baking ring. Take the ring off, invert the cake onto a cooling rack and carefully take off the foil from the bottom. If you use a baking pan, let the cake cool in the pan for about 5 minutes or so, then invert the cake out onto a cooling rack and let it cool for another 10 minutes. When the cake is cooled down, cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate for 4 to 6 hours. This will help the moisture spread evenly inside the cake and make it easier to slice. To make the coconut filling, we'll need sugar and vanilla sugar that I mixed together, 2 eggs or you can use 4 egg yolks, cold milk, cornstarch, unsweetened shredded coconut, and heavy whipping cream that we'll need later. First we'll make a custard, let it cool down, then we'll combine it with the beaten heavy cream. Mix the sugar and eggs together and give it a stir. If you don't have vanilla sugar, you can use vanilla extract. Add the cornstarch and stir again. Add the cold milk and whisk together until well combined. Transfer the mixture to a stainless steel bowl. This way the mixture will cook faster, and cook on a double boiler until thickened. You want to be sure that there is space between the mixing bowl and the simmering water. The bowl shouldn't be touching the water, otherwise our custard will turn into scrambled eggs. You'll also need to constantly stir the egg mixture so that no lumps form. To check the readiness of the custard, dip a spoon into the custard, then run your spatula through it. If the line made by the spatula stays, the mixture has properly thickened. Transfer the custard to a clean bowl and cover with plastic wrap so that it touches the mixture, so to prevent a crust from forming on the surface. Let it cool to room temperature, then add the shredded coconut and mix it. Cover again with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 2 hours. When the custard is cooled, whip the heavy cream and add the custard. Mix on the low speed of your mixer. The whipped cream will give a lighter texture and volume to the filling. This amount of coconut filling will be enough for 2 7-inch cakes or 1 9-inch cake. Next, let's divide the cake into 3 layers. My cake was refrigerated for a few hours and now we can see how it looks inside. I like to use a cake leveler to cut the cake, but you can use a long serrated knife, string, or whatever is convenient for you. The cake is very light, spongy, and smells delicious. If you like very moist cake, then you can soak the cake with coconut or regular milk when assembling the cake. To build the cake, all you need to do is alternate the cake layers and the coconut filling. Apply some of the remaining frosting all around the sides of the cake, then coat the outside of the cake with the sweetened shredded coconut. Decorate as you desire. I use some almond petals and Raffaello candy. Refrigerate the cake for a few hours before serving. I really hope my video is useful to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll make sure to get back to you. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.